early 1.6. Those guys kind of went away after CPL. Then you kind of had you guys in the CGS frame with Shocks and all those guys. You could call that Gen 2 even if you want to. They're the veterans now, and we're getting a new slew of rookies coming through.
Yeah, it's great to see, and that's what we've always said. It's so good about this minor system. We actually get to see some of these younger players have a chance to get through, and here they are at the majors. We'll get into this one though. FaZe Clan versus mousesports. T-start for Mouse. They're going to have 4 sets of armor here. Chris J with the smoke and 2 flashbangs. And in terms of the CT bike, Kirshim with the kip. 1 smoke for him. This will be quite a simple play from mousesports. Most teams do favour towards the inside bomb side. That's where the bomb's heading for now. That's only the back of Rops, and he could be heading towards Pop Dog. He was there very quickly indeed, so an outside split looking likely at this point, and player towards Olaf Meister as well. Here we go, Karrigan opening things up.
Nico's going to follow that. Good entrance, though, from Oscar. That's the position you need to take over on pistols. You need something toward the quad position. Unfortunately, he goes down. Rops. He's up against the Rops. 1 versus 4. He's tagged already on to 68. Doesn't anticipate Rain to be on his right as he tries to rush over to B instead. No bomb plant coming through. FaZe Clan go up 1-0.
A little bit of an underwhelming pistol there, wasn't it? No plant coming in, only that 1 smoke as well. Obviously going for the very fast approach. As I mentioned, most teams do favour towards the inside bomb site. Maybe they're kind of preempting that FaZe can maybe stack 3 players in towards that area. They could get a fast plant and have an outside retake in their favour, but just didn't get going whatsoever. 2 frags for Nico and Karrigan as well. So much USP accuracy coming in bucket loads, but we'll come into round number 2 here. No bomb planted, but no real force buy here. Rops has got body armor and deagle. Similar story for Lau at the P250, but everyone else quite a conservative buy. It's difficult to get the bomb down on Mouse for T-side on the second round of training because you don't really get the utility. You get the head armor and deagle, sure, but you can't really do much of that. So just opting for a weaker buy here. Christian got the flashbang. Nice block as well. Stead shot coming in. Rops goes down to 3 HP.
Big old gooch. Goosh through the wall. Need. Oh, Oscar stares at it smartly. Remember, if you stare at an HE, for whatever reason, it does less damage. But without the armor, goes down to 42 anyway. Certainly limiting mousesports' entry.
Yeah. You'd feel like Rops would give up his deagle this one, considering he's got 3 HP. Give it a while, perhaps, but still wants to try and find the opening. I guess if you don't get the 1 dig, you're dead anyway, so give it a go. Can't find it. Rain takes him down. Did not hit the shot. 5 and 4. Lots of damage being inflicted, but okay, Lau does find 1 back. He gets Nico, but Karrigan strikes back straight away. It's going to be a 4 on 3 now. Rain on 1 HP somehow. He's dropping as well. This could get dangerous.
I was going to say, Karrigan has to be very careful. He just got dinked as well on entry because he was looking left as Dennis slipped in. Got the kill no less, but as you mentioned, this is very dangerous. Oscar still in it, P250, 14 HP. It's Chris J with bomb and Deagle heading toward B that becomes the factor. B is covered, but only by that of the single HP on Rain. It's Kiyoshima that has to be the money man. Oh, running in though, Rain, that's too easy, especially where he's so low on HP. 9 seconds, bomb down. Oscar's going to try and push back. Rain just needs to stay alive, stay in a better position. Bomb cannot be planted. It's a round over, and with 1 HP, he finds his 2nd kill.
Yeah, Oscar just wanted to die there. It might sound weird for new viewers, but if he goes down after that timer expires, he gets no money into this round, and he needs money. He's the AWPer. He needs to be farming cash, so he's happy to die at that point. Rain happy to get the kills as well. He doesn't want to delay anything. He's got 1 HP. He wants to make sure he just stays alive. Gets an extra $600 for that kill as well. And it will be 2-0 for FaZe Clan. A little bit dicey, I have to say. But mousesports not getting a bomb down those 2 rounds. He's a fully coat, comes into number 3 here. Some P250s, 2 of those. No nades, no armor, of course. And we'll just probably be just grouping up, trying to get a refrag. I'd say just rush inside at this point to try and get the bomb down any way you can. That's the most likely area to get it done. There's normally 2 players towards inside. If you kill one of them, there's a chance you get that plant in. They won't be rushing it. Slowing things down, but there's a bit of inside presence now from the CT. You can see Kiyoshima on the upper platform there. He'll be the danger man. His teammate with HE out as well. Those nades will do a lot of damage. There they are.
Surprisingly, oversteps the mark slightly. It only hits Lowell, but the second one better. As Alu gets 2. They walk down in toward him. Molotov tick tells Keo that Dennis is entering. Great position. Find Lowell on entry. Chris J manages 1 kill at the very least, but Nico quickly covers that off, so they lose 2. Well, we'll reinvest ever so slightly, but comes to come up this time for mousesports. No bomb plant on any of the 3 rounds, but due to the save, Chris J, he's able to bring out an AWP that goes straight over to Oscar.
Yeah, to be fair, just 2 P250s and a couple of blocks as well. They actually kept FaZe Clan pretty modest. 2 kills wasn't too bad. Kiyoshima down to $600 as well, dying a few times. Ali purchases the AWP as well. That's what I said would be the interesting battle. And Alu's got a decent spawn as well. Could go towards Ivy and go potentially a little bit aggressive here. I doubt it on the first gun round. We'll see what he decides to do. Round number 4 here, just looking towards main entrance. Looking for anyone to push that aforementioned all-off position. Very default round from mousesports here. Dennis and Oscar investigating the Ivy position with the AWP. Rob's holding towards Pop Dog area. And just seeing if there's any CT aggression. The CT aggression is actually very prevalent on the first gun round. You know the terrorists might have limited utility. You've got residual SMGs or FAMASs, for example. You want to try and push in, get that first frag, and use that lesser weaponry to your advantage. But it needs to be very quiet so far as we hit the 1 minute 15 mark.
Variation of the run boost in that they did it from more of a distance so that Oscar, as he was descending from the apex, could actually look down the tunnel and get position with the AWP. Now they're going to go for a boost on server, which Kerrigan has no read against due to the smoke. Very clever. Chris J's found Rain as well, so they've opened up some access to the site from both Ivy and A-Main. They're going to work in from Pop Dog as well. 3-prong to push, but Alu doesn't care how many prongs there is. He's still going to fork them up as Lowell does respond at least with the trade immediately. Oscar takes down Nico right away. Kio's going to save this.
Yeah, not really much he can do with this situation. Nice work there from Oscar. A couple of frags with the AWP. Here's Shima in towards CT spawn, hoping someone pushes into his crosshair and he can find that opening frag, but not going to be happening just yet. The bomb we planted, that suggests the round is over now. No kit, no nades to work with. He's going to have a decent position in towards CT steps. Not going to find a kill or two, but that gives him away. And now, operation just to try and stay alive the best he can. Money won't be fantastic. Like I said, those couple of kills they got with the Glocks and the PG-50s in previous rounds have kept FaZe pretty modest here. Kishima finds Dennis, and every kill they lose as well is actually pretty valuable for the FaZe side.
I stand corrected, by the way. I knew there was another one on the list. Kierby was the 3rd added teenage winner. It was JW and the White Death, as wrote me himself, Bialy won with Virtus Pro in Katowice. He was still a young bloke. I'm sorry, Bialy. I forgot about you.
So we're saying 3 now.
There was 3 teenage winners.
Is that confirmed? Or
that is definitely confirmed. I remember the tweet having 3 names in it. That's the 3 names.
Well, there we go. Bialy, congratulations. Round number 5. Round number 5, mousesports picking the first one off the back of the nice picks from Oscar. As I said, FaZe will be limited to going into round number 5 here. 5 times Kiyashima, Alu, Deagle as well. Nico's got the AWP, surprisingly enough. And that'll be thrown over to Alu, but Nico's certainly a professional in his own right. He'll be holding towards Ivy this time. Flashbang comes in, takes the shot, gives the way. And he's got the AWP at least, and he'll have to reposition now. That's what most AWPers do. And Chris J finding the first pick takes down Rain. That will suggest they can slow right down now. Don't have to do anything. Wait for the reaction from the CTs, especially when they've only got these pistols as well. See if anyone walks into their crosshairs. They will be investigating towards Ivy here. This might be an overcommitment, but Oscar, he doesn't care. Finds the first shot, Nico striking back.
With authority at close range. The primary AWP wins the battle. Oscar takes Nico down at Ivy. Chris onto Alu means that Romps can walk in with bomb. It's down to Kiyoshima again this time. No sense the save. It's just a 5-7 armor as well, but better to try and get an exit, pick up a gun, or at least do economic damage where available, where applicable. Chris is going to watch the inside of the smoke to make sure that there's no one pushing around it. Kiyoshima is going to try and cleverly wait for the smoke to dissolve and give him an angle. He may have actually just gone by when Chris wasn't able to see into the corner. No kit, no ninja. We won't give that an idea.
No, especially not at this point as well. But another nice round there from mousesports. Taking down the AWP, Sad Ali battling, making sure they get the refrags as well. Chris J with 2, Oscar with 2 once again. That AWP. He's having a great game so far. The rounds they're winning, he's finding opening frags, and that's what you want from your AWP star as well. He has those games where he drops off significantly, but this doesn't seem to be the case so far. Looking quite confident with himself. There he is on the screen with Nico as well. Managed to take him down. It's going to be 3-2. Has to be Nico here for FaZe, so what's the play? Kiyoshima saves his 5-7 on body armor, but his teammates can't really join him with that sort of investment. They're currently at the 2nd save loss bonus, meaning they get $1,900 per player, which is pretty much all they've got to work with here. Here's Oscar taking down Nico. That's a very nice close range shot. Risky, but confident, I have to say. Nothing purchased apart from the saved weapon. One flashbang for Kyo. Stacking towards outside. He'll be by himself towards inner. Can't imagine a world where mousesports give this round away, considering they're up against the default USPs, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened. AKs and the AWP holding up in the default for now. Waiting for that first pick to come in, taking considerable damage, and Nico somehow out-duels Dennis. How did he get taken down at that range by the USP?
Well, ask not why. But what does it affect? Molotov, Lowell got it. I thought the Molotov actually hit immediately and killed.
The kill.
Yeah, I was like, what was that? Well, it's actually from Pop Dog that Lowell got the shot on top of the train. Brings it level. Still a good position for Alu. They didn't anticipate two to be up. Surprised Lowell actually didn't see it when he peeked out the first time. He must have just saw it at the backside of the further behind player. Never went far enough to see both. But Rain inside of the smoke wants to deny plant. That's all he's hoping to get. Lowell oversteps. Oh, he dinks him but can't get the final kill with the USP against armor. If he found that, picked up a gun, it may have been a better situation than trying to just deny the plant in a futile attempt to win the round. But it goes 3-3. Good response from mousesports.
Yeah, not too bad at all. That's actually going to be 3 rounds in a row. Looking very confident at this point as well. No AWP available for FaZe still. That's a big problem for them. No kits from what I can see either. Alu can just about buy one, but he wants to keep his money a bit stronger. It costs $400 to bring one of those defuse kits out. So the final buy comes in. No head armor, not a huge deal against the AKs. No incendiaries, that's actually quite a bit of an issue. No defuse kits as well. I'm a little bit worried for FaZe. I'd say you want to be bringing one of those rounds where you push towards lower ramp, investigate towards Ivy, trying to get the first frag in your favor. They won't be able to hold off a full default here, and maybe not even execution. This is looking much faster. Look at Oscar. And the entrance already, and finds a shot, but can't quite land it.
Spray down from Rain. Gets 2, but Oscar, he's going to get the access to hell because they got 1 kill back by Dennis. That opens it up. Kerrigan could swing back around and catch him off, but Dennis stops the possibility, denies it with a few shots from the AK that scare and deter Kerrigan from doing so. He also picks up the bomb in the process. But watch the push right now at Ivy. Nico's already gone up to T-spawn. If that bomb even falls back, it's done for. Better kill there for that he finds Kerrigan because it gives them more room to work.
Yeah, Nico, he's so good in this position. We've seen so many highlight clips of him at the M4 at the main entrance, trying to shut down, deny the plan here. 1 minute remaining. Oscar finding his teammates. Can Nico do anything with this?
Unfortunately, his teammates go down. He was in a perfect position, but now he has to watch from it. Sprays in. Oh, awkward.
Grenade out.
Took forever, an eternity. Nico's going to get a quick reload in. Thinks better of it and goes back over to the nade. Tagged out 31. Spots up exactly where Rops is playing from his Alu. Follows in, but Rops, he's got the first kill already. Blast bounces off D-box and goes backwards, but it forces Alu to turn, and he picks the round. 4 in a row for mousesports.
I told you Rops would be delivering this game. Looking very confident once again. Up against some of the world's best there. Out-dueling Nico with the AK-47 as well. And knew what he had to do to win that round as he finishes it off towards the outside. Bomb side there. Nothing the CT could do. As we said, that was going to be a rough round for them generally. 5 M4s, no kits, limited with the utility. Rain did a very good job there to find 2 frags at the start. Nico flanked. This didn't seem crisp enough. Not the aim we're used to seeing from him. And Alu out-dueled there. The flashbang wasn't great from Robson. It almost worked in his favour. You can see Alu looked a bit discombobulated there. But 4-3 now. 4 in a row for mousesports as they take the lead. 5.7s, P250s. And Nico once again trying to push towards Ivy. Won't be shut down just yet as he falls back. Another default round from mousesports here. Nothing really invested by FaZe Clan. Well, finds the first pick, takes down Rain. Now they can slow things right down. A nice early pick like that, that's as good as it gets. You just think, right. We know they're on pistols. Everyone much to work with here. Kerrigan, he says no, apparently. I'm not sure why Lau's doing that. By himself, gives a rifle away for free. No need for it whatsoever.
Push through to upper for the AK, and the AWP to lower on entry, which is to watch the connector. Kiyoshima surprises Rops. It could have gotten worse than that, but Chris was timely. So therefore, strike. Take back the player that would have easily swung out and taken the AWP as well in Kiyoshima. Kerrigan responds with 1, forces back the bomb. They'll go for the plant with Chris on high still. But bomb is not in the standard default, which means the Molotovs can't be bounced. Good win for Chris. It's on the inside of the train. The door does not put the flames in that position as Alu slips up, but only the pistol. No armor, no kit. Chris swaps back out. It's now 5 in a row for mousesports.
The key thing is in those situations as well, Lau needs to be very careful. It's all about refrag potential when you're up against the pistols, right? The 5.7s, the P250s in CSGO, very powerful. If you're walking into the key choke points like Pop Dog, you better make sure you've got someone with you to get that refrag coming in, as it can fall apart very quickly indeed. Lau gives the rifle away to the likes of Kerrigan as well, rotates towards inner. If you potentially give that to someone like Rain or Nico, you could lose that round. Luckily, it wasn't one of their hottest fraggers, it was Kerrigan. He takes 1 down, and they get away with it just about. 5-3. FaZe have another buy here. Money starting to stabilize. Do have the AWP out once again as they hit maximum loss bonus. Round number 9. 5-3 is a scoreline in favor of Mouse.
So Rops to the upper position this time on the AK.
This is where he's so good. I said his confidence is so key here. Just watch this play. He'll walk in and find headshots all day long.
Lowell's directly behind him as well, so there's a trade. That's an easy shot. Doesn't go for the tap. Spray instead. Nico gets him in return. But I don't know that Nico would have spotted Lowell. He certainly will know with the Molotov being thrown. And he gets himself in a better position. Flash high. Tap of the bomb coming in behind him from Chris J. Manages to put it down, drop in. Does he just spray it? Does he just go for the tanker hold? Because Nico's slipping up. A jump. Lowell's not going to hear it. He slips in behind, but he's looking above his head. The positioning of Lowell prevails, and he finds Kerrigan as well. It's down to Alu. 1 versus 3. WP missing a first shot's just going to easily give him up to Dennis. If his teammates know it, they're not going to re-peek. He easily walks in to take him down. 6 now for mousesports against FaZe Clan on Train.
Yeah, CT side as well.
They said on the desk that they've played it a few times. They've got wins recently against Godsent. I can't remember who the second one was. Don't quote me on it, but going against FaZe is a whole different beast. Well, right now they're controlling it.
That was the round I was waiting for. This is one of those looser calls where Rob says, I want to walk into the inside bomb site. It's a position where you'll commonly find one CT waiting by himself as well. Once you've ascertained that information, you've showed enough presence outside in the earlier stages of the half. Go towards inner, walk out up around. It's a very uncommon play with players like Rob's. Great aimers, very confident. Walk in, find that first headshot, and it's a complete nightmare for the CTs to deal with then. Molotov's already dropped towards connector. Smokes deployed, bombs going down, and it's really difficult to contain. And this was the key play for Lowell as well. Missed a couple of shots in the first entry, but then makes up for it there. Nico and Kerrigan going down. That's round over. And just to note as well, you can see on the minimap at the top left there, Dennis came all the way from Ivy, the long con. Could have been a bit of a blunder, but actually times it to perfection, gets the final kill. We're going to round number 10. This has to be a partial buy from FaZe. Like we said, maximum loss bonus. After going 3-0 up, they've lost 6 rounds in a row, so they get $34.
I love this. I love that boost.
And gets the first kill. That's a scout player as well.
Double boost off pallet. Spots the ladder. There's nothing this CT player climbing it can do. Wouldn't have expected it. Missed timing, though, as Rain pops in, takes down Chris, who, by the way, is the cousin of Spun. You get it?
No.
Spun J. Don't worry about it. Just like to throw that bar one in every now and then. Keo, top of the blue train. It's fine. It's early in the morning. Deep inside the site for Kiyoshima, though, as they go back that direction. They nearly got caught off, as I was mentioning, by Rain pushing through, but Rops is able to catch off Kerrigan. That'll allow another bomb plant. Max loss bonus will still be in effect. Alu's going to try and flank in behind, but Rops ready for that as well, and he continues to be on good form as he now finds himself at 8-5, 9-5 for Oscar. The same for Lowell. Everyone really firing. In fact, 9 for Chris as well.
Indeed. We're having a very impressive performance from mousesports so far. This is a 0-1 game as well. FaZe going down 0-2. That's a real possibility right now, because it's on the CT side, but they haven't lost the half just yet. Still early days. We won't get too carried away. Alu on the AWP now, as expected. Kerrigan bringing it out as well. As we go to round number 11. So far, so good for mousesports. They haven't given away a single gun round as of yet. Calls are being pitch perfect as we see another fast play towards outside, I think. Towards pop block, 3 players committing, but Nico and Alu fighting back this time.
Good shot, Oscar. It's the only entry as Rain shuts him down. It's suddenly all on to Dennis. Finds the first and the second quick enough that he's got a chance in it. He's got to get toward the ball behind the E-Buck, but they've given him the room to do so. Oh, Molotov out. Alu is low. But wrong time to peek with the nade, especially where you can throw it over the object, to be fair. That gives FaZe their first round in 6. Thankfully, they carry over both AWPs because they lost 3 players.
Much better there from FaZe. The double AWP setup prevails. Kerrigan and Alu doing some work there. Rain, especially with the M4A4 as well. mousesports trying to dictate the pace of the game. They've had some very slow rounds, some XQ-based plays, some fakes going on. And this time, full outside rush, trying to work out what sort of weaponry FaZe have. Now they know it's a double AWP setup. They'll probably be more cautious and actually deploy the full execution to take those AWPs out of the equation. We'll see if that comes in. Number 12 here, scoreline 7-4. Towards inside we go, and Kiyoshima by himself as usual. Hasn't had the most exciting game so far. Is a very good inside player. Using the incendiaries to deny any sort of rush, and Nico, of course, pushing Ivy with the M4. Quite the audacious play. One of the players to do it. Apparently it's not him as he gets taken down by Dennis. Down to 9 HP. Gets dinked in the process, but that's a great pickup. You take a player down, Nico down, you can slow the game right down at this point. Just work out what's the next play. CTs have to react. We know they've got double orbs as well. We've still got our utility. This is looking very promising.
And that's one thing that the FaZe do not have after resetting the bonus. They've got 2 smokes left to work with in terms of long-term delay, and then 1 incendiary to shut them down beyond that. Alu does have an op, though, and he's got vision at Ivy. Dennis is low enough that he could be sacrificial, but they're going to send Oscar instead. Last time they run boost him across. Oh, missed shot Alu. He's been missing a few. He missed a few yesterday as well. And those are costly, especially when you're already down a man and don't have the utility to play with. You need to shut them down immediately.
Yeah, he hasn't looked his best so far, but we'll see if he can recover here. Stays alive for now. It goes down to 49 HP. They've shown presence at Ivy and pushed Alu back as well. So what's the play here? Leaving Dennis towards that position. Lowell and Robs are investigating towards inside, deploying some smokes at this point as well. Trying to, like we said, deny those orbs. As the smokes go in, they could go for an outside play here. Oscar leading the charge up to Carrigan now to see if he can find the next pick.
Chris J all over top of Kerrigan, but spotted out instead by Rain. Plays from Z connector. Keo's going to try and work down ladder, but Robs waits for him. That causes problems because they were relying on him to catch off the players working in, and Kerrigan gets passed by Oscar. He goes directly beside him as Kerrigan pulls back, though. He finds the AWP. 2 seconds left, and already Rain is running. They'll find a second round in a row as we go 7-5. Something to get excited about, but not enough to be elated. They've got to stay focused and continue to pull this back.
They're only keeping 1 or 2 players alive in the rounds they're winning as well. mousesports have got money in bucket loads here, so they're absolutely fine. They can keep buying. They keep applying the pressure as well. They know that they're round to win. They managed to slightly give it away there. Carrigan pushing through the smoke. He actually bumped into Oscar through a few times. I thought Oscar was aware as well. He turns around, spams his Tech 9, speculatively, I guess. But we go into round number 13, and that AWP is not saved over. They're going to scout instead for Alu. He hasn't been hitting shots with the AWP. What chance he got with the scout at this point? 7-5 now. This would be a disaster if FaZe lost this one. It'd be a double reset for sure, and in the closing sectors, that's a nightmare. mousesports looking to win the half, and potentially the game.
This is the peak, again, that they've been doing, intentionally throwing Oscar, if you will, in a way that he drops to see what's on the other side with the AWP instead of baiting out his shot. Didn't spot Kerrigan, but still found the angle as Kerrigan was shoulder peeking it. It's been a back and forth affair, I think, at Ivy, but mousesports seem to come out better for it most often.
Yeah, I would say that's absolutely true. Recovering. I think they're throwing the scout away. I'm not sure where that's gone. I think Alu is just, okay, upgraded to an M4. That makes sense. And now towards Ivy we go. 3 players there. 2 towards inside. Well, it's the backtrack away as well. We like this tactic. Nico's fighting back somewhat, but it's smoked off. Probably won't get more than 1. The CT Sport player has to step up here. Kiyoshima can't get anything going. Dennis has been hitting some decent shots so far. Oscar chimes in as well. That should be the round, but Rain's still there in the connector.
Connector's about as perfect a position as you'd like right now because Oscar does that bomb towards CT.
Smoked off though.
He is smoked off, but he's still going close side to it rather than, okay, gets inside the train. I was going to say the far side. And he'll make it up for the plant. Rain now knows it. No kit. Great awareness as well, by the way, on Oscar to turn back and catch Nico, who'd already sprayed down 1 player, Dennis, I believe it was, through the smoke. Actually, I take that back, I think it was Chris J, and then pushed it. Had they not done that, had Keo even slowed them slightly more, he might have been able to get a double to make up for Keo's miss, but they read it. Rain runs, grabs an AK on the way out, swaps over from an M4, and he'll just do his best to save, head toward T-spawn. Lowell's not going to beat him there, though, so he's going to have to go dumpster.
He might get dumpstered here. Yeah, unfortunately gets taken down. Lau finds him, and that's one of my favorite strategies on train on the T side. We don't really see it enough, I think. I think it's so fantastic to work with. FaZe will call a timeout, but that just to break that down a little bit, the fact is you go for that first pick, which they get amazingly well. They know the money's low as well. Smoking towards the right-hand side of Ivy instead of the left. Instead of focusing towards that outside area, they're going towards CT spawn, the backtracks we call it, and they've got 2 players running towards the lower ramp as well, applying pressure, knowing Kiyoshima is going to be there by himself, and how can he defend that? He rotates to CT spawn, he goes to that battle, but Dennis blows his head off, and that's the round done for. Rain did what he could, but stuck in the connector, smoked out, 3 versus 1, and now FaZe. I said they had the double eco there, so they could have a chance, but they're going all in. That's the other option as well. You start to just take a full eco here and try and buy for the next round, or you try and do what you can with these pistols. They've taken the timeout, 5.7s, P250, CZs, a little bit of utility, mainly HEs. I would speculate right now, Matt, they throw 4 HE grenades at the main entrance right now. They're going to dump those and try and get a pick. I'd say that's almost guaranteed. We'll have a look. Follow those HE grenades. There they go, 3 of them in towards main entrance. Oh, nice shots, cameraman. I like that. No damage inflicted though, unfortunately.
Better than the 4th of July fireworks, some might say.
Yeah, quite possibly. Do you have any fireworks in Canada Day?
Yeah, we do, usually. I wasn't there.
I know.
This year was the 150th, so it was rather big. Now wait, though, patience for mousesports. Oscar just hoping someone's inside of him. He's put about a body width between each shot, so no matter where they were standing, he might catch one off. They are slowly going in that direction. As you said, all in from FaZe.
I'm throwing a flashbang. Smoke!
Dennis starts the entry point. Good shot, Nico. Headshot on the P250. No one to trade it. Gun is down. It's tempting. Chris is going to try to hold it. They push in, both walk in, and somehow get away with it. On top of that, Rain's found a kill on Lowell, so we're not out of the woods just yet, as Oscar's suddenly in a 1 versus 3 AWP. The all-in play might work. He will get them back with a Molotov. 2 players from Pop Dog, but Rain goes directly through it. Rain versus the Flames doesn't quite douse them, but still gets the kill.
Yeah, good round there from FaZe. And once again, mousesports losing kills with his pistols without refrag potential. CLMBT doesn't look too happy about that situation. Almost a facepalm that. But he knew they had nothing. They had no money to work with. Where was the defaults? He was so good at them before. Overextending that. It's a really poor call, I have to say, from mousesports generally, but nice work from FaZe. That's actually limited mousesports somewhat going to the final round of the first half here. It's 8-6 current scoreline. A victory for mousesports on the tee half so far, but getting 9 would be amazing. Orb comes out, but only a tech 9 for Dennis. Similar story for Rops on the SMG. A full buy for FaZe, they've recovered. That can be an absolute disaster, but the gamble pays off with that investment. The 5.7s and PT50s, now it's up to Kiyoshima. Pushing up a ramp here, can hear footsteps on the other side, decides to fall back. Obviously, not the greatest of half here for FaZe. Remember, they won the pistol as well, Matt. They got the 3-0, and they've only got 6 rounds so far on the CT side.
Not something you see from FaZe commonly. And for a team that's been building for years, you could say. I mean, G2, Kingwin did have a run at Cluj-Napoca, but that was a very different lineup. And this team's been building. Kerrigan's got his puzzle basically pieced together. Excellent string of results. Failure at this event of all, after how well things have gone early on, is unacceptable. Going down 0-2 is also unacceptable. As you say, chance to go for 9 for mousesports. Alu, AWP can't quite see through the smoke from just the Molotov. Switches the guns at the wrong time, but a small angle for Lowell still makes it work, followed by Rain. Good trade back, better hold from Oscar. Just before the smoke was deployed as well, so they've got post-plant covered with a man advantage. It's in default. There's no Molotovs, and a good kill from Nico on Dennis means they can get closer. They do, however, have the high ground. Kerrigan's on 20. He's gone to the AK. He'll get on it immediately. Quick tap, rather, to try and pull them out and see where they are. Smart that he taps it as well, because Nade would have killed him. He stays on 8. Nico holds the first shot, still looking at the high ground. Nico steps up. Better late than never, and they'll go 8-7, so at least pulling something back in the half.
Yeah, wasn't the best half from FaZe Clan there, but towards the end much better. In the last 5, they got 4 of them, so not all was lost. Great half from mousesports generally, after losing the pistol as well, having a string of, I think actually 7 rounds in a row in the mid stages there, so that was very, very good from them. Controlling the money of FaZe every round they won, they would shut it down, and FaZe looked out of their depth of points as well, especially the likes of Alu. He seemed almost non-existent this stage as well. Kiyoshima as well, it's a bit more forgiving for him. He's playing anchor, B bomb site, lots of rotations towards outside. But Alu, he gets, what, like 9 frags? Sure, that sounds okay, but for him, on an AWP map, you feel like he should be posting big numbers there. Haven't seen too much from him yet, but still, win the pistol right back into this one. FaZe on the T side now. 3 sets of armor, 2 smokes and a Molotov. That suggests they will go inside indeed. Smoke towards that lower ramp, maybe towards upper as well. Molotov the connector. And we'll see where that comes in. Actually opting for Pop Dog here. A fast outside split as well, it seems as well. We'll get into it.
Rain taking that low, good shot, block at range. It's a response though, he'd found the first pick ahead of time. But with Chris J falling and the bomb going down, it's advantage to FaZe. Tapping away as well. Rops, he hits him to 14, but the last shot is the last laugh, and Rops gets it. The USB from range finds the headshot. Bomb continues to tick away. The kit's in the hands of Dennis. And everyone, look at the amount of red right now on the CT side. Gets hit around the same time and same damage. Still they're holding on. Rob swings to find Alu. Nico's got to get aggressive, but he's not aggressive enough. Already Dennis has got the defuse. As mentioned, he had the kit, so Nico gets the kills. That's all good and well. They get a bomb plant out. He'll have money. The question is, do they force now or wait one more?
They could force now. With him getting the 3 frags at the end, he can drop an AK-47 for his teammates. They can buy up armor. Same story for Rain as well. Can drop an AK. They have Tech 9s, 2 AKs, armor. It's certainly an option, but that is a high-risk play. The other option, of course, is to force up AKs in the 3rd round. That's more conventional, and it looks like that's the option to go for. No exciting gambles at this point.
You almost wonder, with the 4 timeouts, is it worth it to call a timeout then to make the team think you're going to force buy and then just rush with the pistols?
Yeah.
Because then they would be sitting back and you'd easily get another bomb plant.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea at all. Tactical timeouts in more ways than one.
Yeah, I mean, Kerrigan's kind of known, well, he's known for some BM timeouts too, but for being quite clever with timeout usage.
Yeah, it's always a risk. And it's one that probably could have paid off here, but not meant to be. Should find a few frags here. There's 3. That's quite nice.
4 in total, and the ace.
Yeah. Won't get too excited considering that he's got Glocks, but still very...
I will.
You will.
I like yelling.
You're allowed to.
Thank you.
But I won't. But
Thanks,
it was still a very nice, good display of aim and managing to deny the bomb as well. And BC doesn't look too excited with it. Even flipping out the bird right now. So, why not?
Unintentionally.
Yeah. But,
This one was, the 4th one was worth actually getting a little excited about.
Yeah. Denying the bomb, that's the big deal there. So that's good news. Normally, when you've got that solo player, that bomb will go down, but I see him doing a very good job there. We're going to run number 18. Orbs coming out for Oscar. They know the AK is coming out in the 3rd, and they might be boosting on the server here. They will indeed. Dennis trying to work out if he can get that first pick. Nothing as of yet. This is a full default from FaZe. Decent buy, to be fair. 5 AKs across the board. Smokes. A couple of Molotovs to work with as well. Some flashbangs there. Pretty fine. That's what Dennis was up, so it's a good job he fell back at the time he did. And the kind of smoke from the CT side is to buy the CT side some time.
Just to give you an idea of team game versus individualism. For mousesports, pretty much everyone is equal. 16 the highest amount of kills for Rops, 10 the lowest for Chris J. On FaZe Clan, it's Nico and Rain. 17 for Rain, 16 for Nico, and 5 for Kiyoshima at the bottom. So it's very uneven, which I think speaks to the scoreline and the fact that Nico, especially in the last round of the first half, stepped up on multiple occasions. Oscar can't quite hit the shot toward A main. Flash in, does a little peek off it. He's instead going to be patient because he doesn't know if they've entered already to go toward E-box, and he knows they have to cross. Doesn't quite have the angle to get the jump on the shot, but he could swing out behind them. He's pushing down the lane. Rain's ready for it. Flash on flow, doesn't know, and when he goes, the vision's back, and the kill is made. The early buy is going to work. First gun, it's Rops versus 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Works. And then some. 5 players surviving. FaZe Clan, a pretty textbook round there. A few smokes deployed. Attacking the main choke points at the map. Main entrance, Pop Dog, Ivy as well, hitting the headshots. Aloe with 2 frags, starting to come to life perhaps here. Rain and Kerrigan, and it's just going to be Rops remaining, but he's by the old vending machines now. I can hear the music coming in.
I know, I always forget there's music there, and I looked at my phone like, did I leave an alarm on?
No.
Like, is that me? Did I do that? I think the most memorable music, even though it's not a commonly played map.
Inferno?
Well, yeah, okay, maybe. I was going to say Italy.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere, that guy singing opera.
Like when we seen those Thorin Chronicles bits, for some reason I just keep expecting the Inferno music in the background. Like that would make sense to me. Like keep looking at that video. I think that's the music that stands out for me most.
Well, that's where he's sitting, is actually in the vault.
Yeah, exactly. So I was expecting to hear it playing in the background. That would have been perfect. But no, not yet. We're going to, I guess I was removed for this version of Inferno, wasn't I? I don't seem to remember it when I've played it or heard it.
Yeah, good point, actually. I don't know if it's in this version or not. It's not something I like,
No, I'm always
search for
like
or
a Spanish
actively look
guitar
for.
that was at the team spawn. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be there anymore. Anyway,
The bells aren't there either.
that's true. What a tragedy.
Yeah, there's an homage.
Yeah, the little chalk drawing. Well, for now, mousesports saved in the M4 are down to an eco. That's some tight rounds. FaZe should be able to get back into this now. Alu starting to hit some decent orb shots now. Takes down Oscar. Any other pistols? Rops towards inner. Trying to answer back with his M4A4, but nothing to find just yet. It's going to be up to Nico, the one tap. That's quite lovely. I'll take that. But thought Dennis was going to strike back, but Carrigan's got his teammate covered.
Thankfully.
Using the buddy system, we call that.
It's true. Never go home alone at night. Lowell does get one back to grab an AK-47. M4 for Rops. Potential for save written on it. Minute. Or I guess if you want to be technical, bomb time to do so. Won't quite be a full minute. That's the intended goal at this point in time. Lowell's got to be a little bit careful. Player at A main, he could be pushed, but we get to listen to the song again, Henry. That almost sounds like something we'd get in a restaurant, a traditional Polish restaurant here.
Yeah, I agree. Well, mousesports do manage to recover an AK-47. That's in the hands of Lowell for now. Same story for Robs as well, but he didn't find that weapon. He saved it from the previous. It will be FaZe closing the gap here. 10-9 will be the overall score. Second save loss bonus with a saved weaponry as well, which should get a decent buy from mousesports. I don't think they can afford an AWP, or they can just about. Chris J could either use one or drop one. Of course, was the primary AWPer for so long on this team, but Oscar coming in, being the superstar he is, has taken over that main AWPing role. Chris J does purchase it, and he goes with armor as well. So does he give it to Oscar? I'm not sure just yet. Certainly capable of delivering a performance on this map. That's a nice shot from Ali. Like we said, had a few misses on this map. It's starting to wake up now. Nice little flick down. Christie will be keeping the AWP, so we'll see where he can go with this one. Had a decent spawn as well. Doesn't commit towards Ivy. Just at the bomb train. Nothing too flashy. Looking towards main entrance, it seems.
No, aggressive toward the E-box. Flashes over high from Rain. He's actually blinded himself with the way that bounced. Didn't really go to plan. Dennis will take down Rain. Kerrigan's going to follow up. Dennis has the same position, so he's got to be careful, Kerrigan. Oh, timing is everything. It nearly catches Dennis out this time. Kerrigan can't land the shots. Dennis is going to get closer as well with the smoke. He knows what Kerrigan's up to. He knows where he's playing. Death from above. 1979, if you want to be accurate on that one.
I knew you were going to say that.
Canadian band, I have to say it.
Yeah. Oh, 5-on-3 now. Nico, he has to be the danger man to step up here, but as Ali strikes first, Nico does go down. That's going to be the round concluded. Only one player surviving. Kiyashima called the game so far. Bomb down, 40 seconds. The position given away. Lau delivers the final headshot there, and after losing it a couple in a row, having to eco, mousesports are fighting back there. Doing a very good job picking up the secondary AWP as well for Oscar, of course, and just finding the frags. I have to say, Dennis has been impressing me. Like, he's a player who's had his criticism in the past, but this game has been pretty solid. Everyone's stepping up on mousesports here and delivering impressive performance. Pretty much everyone's in double figures. Chris J at the bottom at 11 and 14. Next to him will be Dennis on 14 and 15. Everyone else on 15 frags. So everyone chiming in at 1 point. On number 21, double AWP set up here. Chris J and Oscar trying to open things up. Still money available for FaZe. Probably be their last buy. Maybe one more on the back, considering the bomb possibility in Alu. Now he is hitting shots. Takes on Oscar at the upper ramp. 5 and 4. Do they fully commit? I think the answer is yes. All 5 players this side of the map, they want to get in there and get stuck in.
Rops certainly has stuck into that site. He's done very well. We got the ace there against pistols. This time gets 2.5. Dennis getting the follow-up, but Alu's got him in return, and Kerrigan's ready for the flank dink, however. So although it's a 2 versus 1, there's a chance for Chris J. Problem is he's on the AWP. I say it's a problem. Yet to be determined. Smoke off, no plant on B. He's read the fact that they've cowered away and gone back over the way, and his timing is perfect as well. If he can get in and get scoped in time, he could easily find the kills. Down goes Kerrigan. He was carrying the bomb. 1 versus 1, 59 seconds, and Lowell has to make a decision on, or excuse me, Alu has to make a decision on whether he plants or hunts. AWP versus AWP, and Alu lines it up. Foot shows. FaZe pick it up. We've certainly got a match.
Yeah, we do indeed. That was such a tense round as well. Rob seems to be the king of that inside area. T-side and CT doing a great job there. 2 spray down, and he thought, okay, he's done enough, but Baseland do answer back, and just comes down to the 2 versus 1. Chris J, great awareness, like you said. Here's the initial frag. Oscar taken down by Alu, who saves it in the end as well. Gets the first and last frag of round number 21. Scoreline now 11-10. Money pretty dire for mousesports once again. 5-7 for Lowell. Dennis on the UMP. There is an AWP for Oscar. Same story for Chris J as well. So pin everything they've got towards the sniper rifles. No kits. Little to no utility. one smoke and an incendiary. That's it. This is a huge round. FaZe Clan will just equal things up and put mousesports on the eco if they can pick this one up.
Throwing flashbang.
Flash in. Will push out the back. They're going to pursue. He can't hit, and no one on his heels to trade immediately. Nico can't save his friend.
It seemed like he was in a position to do so. I guess he was hoping he would overextend and try and pick up the weapon, but he actually just gets away after picking up the free frag on Alu there. 5 on 4. It's just what they needed, especially the pistol. It's going to be sacrificial in that sense. Not a huge deal if it goes down. He finds a frag. That's amazing. And Oscar could find a second hit. Amazing. Takes down Kiyoshima as well. By himself. 5 on 3. Nightmare situation now for FaZe.
Rain. Back around toward Pop Dog. Molotov down to clear. Thinks better of it and decides to take a brawl straight up. No one down there. Little does he know. But he'll have heard the drop outside loud from E-Box as Rain approaches closer and closer. Wide angle. Christian hits Nico. Fumble up for Rain. Now the peek from Lowell. He can't quite get the shot. He's shoulder baiting it back and forth though, and they bait Rain into a pretty well established crossfire. Mouse pick up a 2-point lead, or rather regain a 2-point lead.
Very good work from the CTs there. Up against it with the double orb setup, forced around that with SMGs, pistols as well. Key frag towards main entrance, finding Alu, who's been a thorn in their side in the second half. He's looked much better, I have to say. Opening picks are plenty, and once he was taken down, it funneled everyone towards inside. And you know what? That's what Oscar's waiting with that secondary AWP. Hits the shop, and a 5 on 3 comes in, funnels them once again towards outer. And at that point, nothing really could do. FaZe are out of it, and it has to be a full eco here. Looking very likely to be 13-10 in favour of mousesports. Plenty of money to work with here as well. They win this round, so this is looking very good for them. FaZe Clan 0-2 in the major. Sure, talk about all the success you won at the previous events, but this is the one everyone cares about. This is what everyone aspires to win. This tournament can be such a tricky situation to get out of so early on.
Alu's grouped and ready. Kerrigan the only one that's not looking toward A main. He's heading down toward Ivy at this point. Decent shot, Chris, but no land. Certainly sends loud warning to Kerrigan that I probably with a pistol shouldn't go toward Ivy.
Throwing smoke. Laying down smoke. Throwing fire.
Wouldn't be surprised if Oscar just fires in and wall bangs them at this point. They've been so long. Instead, it's going to be the can of flames. That'll slow them down further.
Yep.
Deploying
And
flashbang.
all roads at this point lead to A. Good setup as well. Dennis on top of the trench here. Lowell can pop out into exactly that. Only manages 2, but Dennis follows up. As does Oscar. No chance to get a bomb plant from FaZe.
No chance at all. There it is, 13-10. We do have money to buy for FaZe Clan here. That was a full eco, as you can see. Their attempts to go outside thwarted there by the flames, and 30 seconds remaining. It's grouping up. Given the EV spray down, as we did say as well, mousesports with reasonable cash. Not amazing amounts. FaZe Clan win this round. They're right back into this game, but you can see Kerrigan. He's got the Tech 9, alley down to the grill as well. I assume Kerrigan dropped an AK-47, considering he spent $4,700. He wants to give a star, a weapon, potentially Rain or Nika, make sure they're fully equipped. He's happy to take the Tech 9. Normally a player that's faking towards Ivy, showing presence. Doesn't know the fastest round, but Kiyoshima going for the inside presence at the very start. He's got teammates with him as well. Flash is coming in towards the lower ramp. This could be the inside execution here. All the smokes towards connector, lower ramp, upper as well. Try and focus on the player Rops, who has been very good in this area, I have to say. We'll see now with the AK-47, can he do even more damage?
Throwing fire.
He's playing a little more of a passive angle this time. He's not quite up hugging the inside of the plant position, or default plant position at that. Flames down. He'll be pushed out by an equal Molotov thrown his direction, but he gets up on top of the train. He's done damage to those entering, but he's overlooked the position because they march through the flames. And a dance to the gods of fire will allow the kill, but Lowell gets one back. Bomb goes down. FaZe will be desperate to hold it. 4 versus 4 in the retake. Dennis starts to work above the tanker, looks down the lane, but Lowell finds Kerrigan instead. That opens up the position for him to jump across, but he jumps into Rain, who's still watching from the hitch. Found by Chris. They know where Alu is as well. That's one of two found. He's on top of the train. He's on top of it though, which means the top won't hit, which means he can re-peek. And in re-peeking, he'll find two.
Took the right target at the start there. Didn't go for the AWPer, and the CT player, Chris J, pulls his pistol out. Can't deny the spray at the kill there. 13-11. That's quite huge for FaZe. It could have been game over if they lose that round. Certainly wasn't the cleanest of rounds, but taking down Robs to push down, everything was correct in that sense. A little bit dicey towards the end there in the 2-on-2 situation, but they pull through. Did say the money from mousesports wasn't in an amazing position, but they will force into this. I've seen the orbs come out. Amethyst as well. And let's see what the final verdict is. We still have the $5,700 on Oscar as well. He has not even purchased into this round. So presumably they've taken a pause here from mousesports to work out what the players. Actually, FaZe has called this one. They're third out of the four available. Number 25, you're just joining us. This is the 0-1 game. Important for these two teams as well. Both legendary sides and looking to do what they can here. FaZe Clan especially, going down 0-2 in here, that would be a huge deal considering the form we saw in the group stages at Cologne, right? That was when they had to go through the very last round, and it was touch and go considering the way they were playing at that tournament.
I said the word slump. That's probably a stronger word than required, but definitely a drop in form.
Yeah, I think it's a correct word. Either way, Rain, he gets the first frag there. It's just the force buy from mousesports, 5-on-4. As we enter round number 25 here. No kits available for mousesports, just a note as well, and limited. It's up to Chris J now, the AWP, to try and get them back in this round.
So Kerrigan had jumped across to give Ali the angle from the dumpster. Dennis is watching Ivy, but he's inside of the smoke. 3 players from FaZe want the position. Keo goes aim in therefore, and Rain already down the ladder at Pop Dog is going to try and work in. Make the split a possibility. All the utility being deployed at Ivy, Chris isn't exactly sure where to look. He thinks he may have to give support to Dennis, but he's the main gun at the front of the site. He needs to keep his intentions clear. The only thing clear was a bullet to the brain as Rain walks out from Pop Dog. Oscar, stuck in hell. Strikes back, though. He takes down Kerrigan at close range. Dennis does the same on 2. It's Kiyoshima. A kill that evens things up, but in the flurry of the exchange, makes up for the deficit by which was overcome on the mousesports side.
Yeah, bomb down as well, 30 seconds remaining. Dennis with the AWP. He's actually in a decent position to look at the bomb. Robs, though, needed to buy himself more time there. Dennis had that one set up for him. Made them work for the bomb, then Rob shows his hand. I feel like that's a bit of a mistake, but that smoke could be a lifeline. Dennis just in this round.
That's a huge blunder, but Rain reads it. Swings out, hits the shot, 13-12. Money on the other side of things now is broken, so mousesports had an advantage at 13-11, or rather 13-10, excuse me. And FaZe have returned serve, broken them down, and have a chance to tie the game late. Better late than never, but it's still not comfortable for FaZe.
Absolutely. I feel like Rob's could have done.
Full save I think has to be in order because they're at 2K, but they'll want to buy in the next.
Definitely. Yeah, you wouldn't force this. You've got the 2-round loss bonus, and it's not match point, you don't have to force. We'll see what they can do, though. 1 PT50 purchase. And we'll be stacking towards outer, 1 on the inside bomb site. FaZe Clan very slow in their approach here. Nico and Kerrigan working towards Ivy and getting the first pick to tie things up at 13-13. Alu finds the third, and that should be the round done. Not really much mousesports to do about this.
Rob spots an entrance toward E-Box. Needs to go down on the ladder as well. Rommel gets damaged tremendously by that. AK picked up, bottom down. Gets to do some economic damage at the very least, but they're going to swarm him and win the round either way. They do it without losing anyone further. So now we have our 13-13 scoreline. Guns carried over. Money built for FaZe side. And the full save, as you said, only with 2 rounds. Now the third puts them around the 4K mark on the CT side, which isn't enough for an AWP. No one's got the money for it. Actually, Dennis could, to be fair, but it'd be glass cannon. And I think I'd rather have utility this late in the game to slow FaZe.
4K on average per player. They do have 4,900 on Dennis. Could afford to take another eco here. Look at the bigger picture. Get the full buy, the double orbs is working very well for them. That does put FaZe kind of touching distance of the victory. It'll be 14-13. Looks like they'll be going all in. Dennis makes the first move. M4's coming out. Oscar down to a UMP here. He's money about the 2k mark. So the AWPers at least hoping they can pull through with this round with just limited buys. So Chris J saves his money about 3k as well by the 5-7 armor. If they lose this round, they know they can bring the AWPs out into the next. That'll be the final chance for them. But here we go. 2 M4s, make it 3, and a UMP. They're doing anything special here? Oh, not as of yet, as Nico finds the first kill. Very fast approach here from FaZe. He's going to find the second frag.
Down goes Lowell. Kyoshima gets inside towards Sandwich. Smokes toward Ivy as well for Chris and Dennis to contend with. And Chris only on the 5-7. Has one of 2 kits. This should be a save. If they want to play the long game and pull themselves back into it, they concede the lead by 1 point to FaZe in doing so. But they'll give themselves a much better chance in the next round. Their only chance, to be honest, in the next round. And they'll spread out as well. That way, if they are found, there's no chance of all of them losing weapons.
Indeed. If they save the weaponry here, with Chris J, with money in the bank as well, he can bring out the AWP. And I guess this is pretty much like Eco in this round. If they can just save these 2 weapons, they'll be, well, should be fine, I should say. The FaZe can take the lead now. Been a very back and forth game. FaZe not looking their dominant themselves, but Alu, he has been hitting shots in this second half. Finds Chris J, not a huge deal in the 5-7. Still limits him. Dennis does manage to stay alive there just about as he finds Nico. It's going to be 14-13 now. Lots of money available for FaZe Can. Not almost a non-issue at this stage as well. They're all encroaching on 5 figures. Orbs coming out for Oscar. This will be it now. Everyone's fully invested. 3 M4s, a FAMAS, AWP. Dennis with the AK-47 as well. Basically looking to close this game out. Overtime very likely at this stage as well, I'll just point that.
It's definitely a possibility.
Oh, hit him.
Certainly did. Alu's tagged down to 18. So Oscar, if you will, has won the exchange. Keo and Nico going to work together at top ladder.
Deploying flashbang.
All is down below. Flashed, popped in case they dropped. Hoping to time it right. They haven't. Palm's still down as well toward the stairs at T-spawn. So FaZe will have to go back and gather that, but for now it's information. It's all about information. Keo's tagged on 59, by the way, as well as Alu, so they've lost the early damage. Keo's left Nico to his own devices to guard what, to be fair, is quite easy to guard, the top of the ladder.
Incendiary. Flashbang.
Rain will throw a Molotov out. Bouncing straight down on the inside of Pop Dog. Spreads quite well, actually, because Lowell is actually being tagged by it. It's forced all the way in. It's very well thrown from Rain, and that's perfect because Rain's Flames hits, and if they don't, they spray into the corner, the only place Lowell could have gone.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that a lot. 5 and 4 now, still low HP. This could fall apart for FaZe, but they'll be finishing off towards inside. As I normally said, Carrigan towards Ivy, trying to do what he can, but Rain hitting shots once again. It's up to Oscar now, the AWP rotates in, needs to find something here. I think Alex spotted him and hits him as well.
Nearly gets the kill all the way through. Oscar, AWP still in play as Dennis took down Alu. Bomb planted. At point for FaZe if they can hold the post plant positions. Chris J is going to make that harder. And he's going to rotate all the way back through CT at this point, or is he considering the save?
I think he is. He must be.
That's an interesting call with Oscar so close and so much on the line. Chris is called for it. Oscar's going to miss another shot. I was going to say, if he got another kill, giving them a real chance. He's got to run. He's got to book it. With the AWP, they're going to be chasing him down. That's a weird call from Chris. I have to say that's very early.
It is very early. With Oscar in that position, you're absolutely right. If he just gets 1 kill, at least being CT swarm ready to strike if required. Rain with 3 kills there. I thought we had a few more twists and turns in that round, but that's going to be match point now for FaZe.
Oh, they got him. He was in the open.
The AWP down as well. That's a disaster. They still have 6k for Dennis. He'll probably drop the AWP over. Still not looking too good now. 1 round away. FaZe will be 1 and 1. mousesports will be 0 and 2. Pressure is on. 2 to take us to overtime here. Now, of course, with the AWP, final buy comes in. UMP for Robs, FAMAS for Lowell, AK-47 for Chris J then. Love that play from FaZe, just getting towards inside after getting the first pick there. Lovely play with the Molotovs towards Pop Dog. There's another fast outside execution here. It's going to be just Carrigan by himself for now. He's actually baiting these plays out. His teammate really falls outside. If he gets one kill, that's the cue, even if he goes down as well. He hasn't been that convincing on these plays. Ivy last round as well, went down straight away. Trying to pull rotation short, but it's very rare to find kills.
Oscar and Rops stand tall for mousesports, leaves it down to just Nico. Finally, they firmly control around. Remember, they were back and forth at the start of the half. We went 3-3 to start it off, and then 2 rounds for Mouse. Looks like they had the momentum because that's when they broke FaZe. But this run of 5 has made things awkward. Important, therefore, they keep all 5 alive.
Well,
or 4.
Yep.
Keep 4 alive.
Keep all 4 alive. Well, we'll see if Nico finds anything in this round. I don't think he will. It's almost redundant. He even limits them that much. They're going to keep 4 players alive regardless. But there it is. We're going to round number 30. That was the outside fake there. Not so much a fake, just Carrigan, as we said, on T-side train, and most maps in fact as well. He likes to go towards certain positions, key choke points on that by himself, smoke out, a few swings with his teammates as well, and he'll try and get his way and navigate towards the bomb site, try and get that one pick. If he gets it, it looks amazing, because then he pulls a rotation from inside, his teammates ready towards inner, and the previous round he does it towards Ivy, when they're ready to do the same thing, but didn't really work out for in that previous one. They get the first kill, the Rops stepping up towards inside with the UMP, gets 2 frags, wins a round. As I said, overtime, very likely indeed. The coaches now are able to chime in. Nothing really being said by LMBT though, from what I can see. Very quiet there. Maybe they've already got the game plan in mind. They're on the CT side, so double orb setup coming out once again. Chris J and Oscar with those weapons, of course. Alu, same story. Kiyoshima, 8 kills, 18 deaths. He has had a very quiet game. I thought it was because it was CT side, but T side hasn't really delivered too much either.
Yeah, he's definitely not on form right now. 8 kills total. And 3 kills since we last mentioned it. 30 kills, meanwhile, for Rain.
That's not bad.
Yeah, player of the game. Still doesn't exactly make up for one player not hitting shots. Kyo being said player this time, you could argue he is the problem. And he's going to go back out to Oscar. He slow peaked this last time.
Yeah, surely learned his lesson.
Oscar's playing an even tighter angle this time. It's normally the wide peak to look toward the tanker, where originally that's where operas were playing to catch them off. So maybe Kyo was expecting that, hence why he went for the very slow peak. But you might be right in learning his lesson, because he's not going to go for it at all. He's going to wait for his team to be ready.
Thinking about it.
Oscar hits this shot, and with Rops in the sight,
smoke's coming out.
Overtime is a possibility. Smoke does come out. Oscar knows that his chances of finding anyone in that position are gone. Molotov, so they can't push through the smoke and take down Rops. They won't commit yet. Halu and Nico are at the bottom of the ramp, but I think they're going to be a distraction because Pop Dog and Bomb have something in common in that they're both in the same spot of the map. Lowell, Rops, they win their duels, but Rain's sneaking in. He's been fouled. It's going to be overtime because Lowell's got Kiyoshima as well. 15-15. We aren't done yet.
Certainly not. Decent hold there from mousesports. We question Chris J's decision to be saving weaponry at the key point of the game as well at 14-13. It works out for him though. They managed to hold strong and push it to overtime. Everything's reset. Standard rules here. 10k MR3. First to 19 at the top of your scoreboard. 18-18, we do it all over again. Sides do not swap. We're into the first round momentarily. Headsets come off for now, so probably a bathroom break at this stage. That's mousesports managing to hold on. Very impressive in the first half, actually winning the T-half to open things up, and we thought it could slip away from them, but here we are.
FaZe have the smallest splatters on the planet.
Yeah, they're commonly in the bathroom, aren't they?
They were doing so at the start of this game as well. I don't remember which players. I know there was 3 or 4 of them. I think Dennis is gone to do the same. Not our first overtime in the major. I think we had one at least yesterday.
Yeah, Mortals Astralis.
Yeah, the last game of the day, of course. That's the way it always works.
Yeah.
1917 for Astralis. They and SK both, if you want to call them the favorites, I would say with the form FaZe are in right now. Those are the 2 front runners. Both struggled in their opening match.
Yeah, absolutely. SK against Penta. Not the most convincing result for them. 16-13 in a game they arguably should have lost, considering how some of the rounds went down. Coldzera bailing them out a few times. Very good performance from him, but it felt like Penta had control of that situation after going 10-0 down. Astralis, you're right, and then going overtime with Immortals as well. But they are a very good team in their own right, but you'd expect the current major champions to be able to take them down. But still, Immortals, always a bit of a dark horse. I was about to say at these majors, it's actually the first majors I've ever been to. That's kind of a crazy thing to think. I've tried to qualify for 4 in total, I think, and only made it here.
Yeah, that is actually shocking. But to have an overtime game against Astralis when they did arrive is not bad.
No.
I'm sure they wanted the better result, obviously. But yeah, that is... I mean, I think Heather Sapphire had really good footage. I think obviously PGL does as well from the production, but the emotion just from qualifying that we got out of that team...
Yeah.
About as emotional as I've seen a team get lately.
Yeah, it meant a lot to them. But I think we really said in this game, at least. FaZe not looking their absolute best. Some of the key names missing from the serve at the moment. Kiyoshima especially hasn't really delivered a world-class performance. Alu in the first half very quiet, carrying in on 12 frags as well. He's been trying to sell fakes on either side of the map, and the T side, I feel like teams have just got his number on those sort of plays now. He's by himself and doesn't really seem to be selling too much at all, but almost ready to get back into this. Chris J sits down, leisurely pace. As I said, the teams do not swap over. So let's talk about the CT side on train. Overtime needs to be a little bit careful. The double orb setup, obviously always viable, but with this sort of money, when you have 10k and MR3, double orb setup, lose that first round, you're extremely limited. You could be on pistols by the third. They need to work out what's best. You'll see almost all the players get no head armor. There's not going to be any SMGs up against you. So you're trying to save money. Probably only 1 or 2 kits, because like we discussed before, defuse kits in this game have gone up in price compared to previous iterations of CS. $400 a piece these days. Buys starting to come in. Not everyone's even sat down. We are getting some buys there.
Just to go back to your point about Immortals making it, Brazil, therefore, is the second highest represented country at this event, with 10 players.
Denmark at 11?
Denmark at 11, exactly. Yeah. And just behind that, Russia with 9.
That's right, yeah. Well, there you go. Vega and Na'Vi, of course.
Vega, Na'Vi, Gambit.
And Gambit, yeah. You're right. Well, it looks like we're good to go. I can hear the unpause coming in as we enter the first round of overtime. I said it was likely we found ourselves here. Alu, 22 frags, looking to increase that number. Double orb setup does come in, just to note as well. Chris J doesn't buy any grenades. That suggests he's going for a bit of a hero play here, Matt. He might be going pretty straight up push, knowing if he goes down, he doesn't want to invest in any sort of utility whatsoever. That decent spawn could push Ivy.
Flip side is also in on the Russian.
Yep, that's
so
right.
they've got the four teams.
Lots going on there.
Chris J, fast play, you called it. AWP, he's going to go directly out to try and push. First round of overtime. FaZe woke up late and pulled this back, but it's not been convincing, and Chris does catch Kerrigan. First time they've pushed him all game, and it's now of all times. Time to go unorthodox, time to catch them off as Alu. He's going to work in front, A main. T-side at AWP getting aggressive on entry. Bomb still waits back by spawn, so they have to get an equalizing pick. Spots one on the train. I think he may have been seen in return, so quick coordination, double peek. Lowell finds him from below the E-box.
Yeah, I like this from mousesports. We haven't seen much of that towards Ivy. Christian, like I said, getting no nades, meaning if he does go down, he doesn't lose $1,000. He knows to go for that aggressive pick. If he gets it, great. That's worth not even having utility, right? He's got the AWP. He's fighting regardless, and it just saved him a bit of cash going forward a little bit deeper into this overtime. 5 on 3 now. Nico's still alive, though. Always going to be a dangerous factor for FaZe. Kiyoshima, maybe not so much. The way he's playing right now, I'd just be happy to get 1 kill. We'll see what happens. 5 on 3. Smoke's deployed. Flashbangs available still, and they'll come in. Kiyo can find some kills in overtime. All will be forgiven him. Only 5 seconds remaining. The final commitment will be towards outside. Molotov deployed as well. Rain with the final flashbang. Surely someone's going to make the move there.
Flash out from Rain. Self-flash. Didn't land the first shot, but assessed the fact that it was behind the train and his spray was far. Went for the close target instead, so at least gets one that's traded. Nico, top train, finds Chris J, but he's all alone. He'll have to find 4 in the round if he wants to win it. Bomb down near the train in 13 seconds. There's no need to overcommit the peaks. And as he gets closer, he's going to be flanked out by Dennis. Doesn't even need to get that far. 1-0 mousesports in overtime, 16-15 overall.
Good job, mousesports, recovering the orbs as well. 3 players surviving. It's always the CT side where it's difficult to manage the economy. They did a very good job there. Slow approach from FaZe, a default if you like, just trying to get the key choke points under their control. Pushing towards Ivy, Christian to get that first pick. And they managed to get the second as well. I think it was Robs to pick that one up. 1-0 here. 3 rounds played at either half. So, orb for Alu once again. No one surviving the previous round, but we'll see whether he can open things up. Might be a change of pace here. There's more players heading towards inside and Pop Dog. All 5 in fact, so this could be a full-on execution to kick things off here. No Carrigan antics towards Ivy. He wants to be part of the action this time.
Laying down smoke. Flashbang.
Hit B hard. Rops will be inside. He's done best when he stayed aggressive, so going to the passive angle, remember he was overwhelmed here last time because they went through flames. Now he goes back to the aggressive position, only managing 1 kill though before Rain responds to then plant the bomb and mistimed Molotov. Means the smoke due to dissolve within the next 5 seconds. And Kerrigan, with no flames to protect, has Dennis walk through and find the gap. I was a little early on my timing. That smoke's been there and lingering longer, but it's the advantage nonetheless to mousesports. Rain at Tanker's going to get the information early when they cross toward the site. No need for Nico to peek out. He'll watch the high ground. There's the information called. He goes down, though, is the problem. Not even a single kill. It's going to make Nico's job very challenging. Molotov's off it, and he absolutely cannot. Nothing he can do. Has to concede and just try to save the AWP at this point, more so as he's on the T side. And it's 2 straight rounds for mousesports. Money is tight. FaZe are in a tough position.
That's actually kind of sick from mousesports. It wasn't an incendiary. They picked up a Molotov and come into the retake. I just spotted it just as they come in as well. You think, oh, Nico, up around, bomb down, hits 1 shot, he's into this one. As soon as I saw that Molotov, I just knew it was game over. No chance he's going to win that. Everyone knows it'll be towards that upper ramp area. Here's the initial shots from Oscar and Alu. Nice refrag from Alu, but not enough to win the round. Bomb gets planted. That's some good news, at least, as we'll see. There is enough for the AKs, and they saved AWP as well. Means they get a decent buy just about. Alu with no head armor as well. Obviously, had to spend a lot more. But it's 2-0 in favor of mousesports. Looking very promising for them. Final round of the first half of overtime there.
Leg shot gap anyway. It wouldn't have been a kill, but thought Ali might have got a chance to pull the trigger. He cocks an aid down to 75. A run boost this time from Kerrigan. More traditional, just gets him across, not like they were doing with Oscar. Now making jump noises as Chris getting closer. The double up opens again. Chris fires beside his teammate. Rain's in the corner. Molotov won't extend, but they watch it. Good shot, Rain. It's going to open him back up and allow him some room to wiggle. Otherwise, he was down and out. That would have been a 5 versus 3. It goes still the way of mousesports on the next kill as Dennis makes up for it. They have the site control. Bomb still back toward T-spawn. And no entrance from Kerrigan, who gets more aggressive at Ivy. But Oscar's going to play passively and hold the angle as he does get in position. Oscar, the AWP, gets baited out by the shoulder. Kerrigan now knows he's there. Flames instead. Imagine Oscar goes backtracks to hold, and they'll get more aggressive on top. Trains inside so they can watch when he enters from Ivy, but still have eyes on Nico, who gets forced by the incendiary. It's 30 seconds to work with, and only 2 left alive. Keo will at least catch off Chris J. A-site's still the target as bomb works in from A-main. Kerrigan's the one to hold it, but Oscar is going to make Kerrigan the last alive, and Dennis finds him climbing up a ladder slowly.
Great work by mousesports in this first half of overtime. 3-0 there. Decent rounds as well. FaZe Clan, they seem to have dropped off in that T-side. Where are the executions? Where was the assertive, faster play? They're just defaulting, getting picked off 1 by 1. Really lackluster first half for them there. Not done quite yet, of course. They can still get the 3-0. No reason why they can't give mousesports the same treatment there. But mousesports, great stuff to kick things off as well. Our first gun round, mixing things up. Chris J towards Ivy. Actually had a tremendous amount of shots in overtime there. Pushing in, and it's setting the tone for the half. 3-0. 1 round will do it for mousesports. As you'll see at the top. 18-15. It's 1st to 19 in this rule set. 18-18, we do it all over again. Let's get into the second half, though. We'll have a look at the buy for the CT side. Not going for the double orbs that like mousesports did. Carrigan can double orb with him, but not as known to be a superstar, but like just decent enough. But there we go. Oscar looking towards the main entrance, seeing if anyone does dare pick from Ivy.
Throwing fire.
Distant echoes of a tapping M4.
It's a double stack again, Matt, which you are enjoying.
I do. This boost was brilliant last time because you'd never expect it climbing the ladder, and even if you climb the ladder, there's nothing you can do when you see it.
It means he can get on that pallet. His teammate can cover him as well. When CT's pushing in, he can just concentrate on his role of getting those picks towards the Ivy position. That's quite cool.
Grenade out.
No one goes up this time to fall victim.
Laying down smoke. I'm throwing smoke. Smoke. I'm throwing flashbang.
Oscar heads in. Chris, Molotov, sandwich as Nico sits above the ladder. He won't be affected by the flames, but he won't have any movement. He won't be able to fall off until they extinguish. They have now, so first shot in. He can jump down, checks, baits this shot from the off, but he's going to push in Oscar, but watch the flank. Oscar hits it anyway. As Kerrigan actually moved into position to make sure no one could slip through sandwich. Chris goes the other way instead. It's Kiyoshima down. It's Alu and Kerrigan to try and save FaZe Clan. They might get swept 4-0 in overtime. They do pull one back. Alu with a quick shot, but he's stuck on a ladder. They know where he is. In the open, he finds one, but he's down to 56. It's an AWP from Oscar that won't hit a shot. It's the AK that looms large and makes the play. Erupts to get the kill. 19-15, and FaZe Clan are 0-2 at the major.
Losing to Big yesterday and now mousesports as well. FaZe not looking amazing form right now. That's another lackluster performance. I mean, there's some of the key names not turning up at all, and I feel like the overtime performance as well.